Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis. And breaking scoreboard, Simone of the Olympics. Defense and big business, the Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bill in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. DeeTrynt, game changer sports talk, in the street sports. Man, what's really good? You feel me? Back at it. I know it's been a minute. I ain't been chopping up with you like I need to, but it's December, baby. What we like? 16 days from Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Another 20 days from the end of the year, 22 days from the end of the year. It's getting spicy, baby. I mean, basketball season is in full effect, okay? 25 games into the season, 26 games, okay? And it's looking different, right? Football season. What's going on with football season? We down to the last 5 weeks. Everybody making their playoff pushes, okay? 17-week season, the first time everybody's getting to endure that, and we got a lot of drama, right? I mean, the NFC playoff picture looked like, it's pretty much shaped out. Probably the bottom 2 or 3 teams ain't really all the way figured, but you got a good idea. The AFC is a whole nother monster, though, okay? In the AFC, literally one win separate the number 3 from the number 11. This shit is bonkers, okay? But this is what we look for around holiday time. We like sports drama. We want to know that all our favorite teams still have a chance to make a claim for the title, all right? And there's quite a few teams that can make a claim for the title. But before we get into those specifics, let's just venture around the leagues, okay? Do I dare start with basketball? Do I dare talk about who's looking good, who's not, who's on top, who's flopped? I mean, what is really going on? I want to start in Portland. I would love to start in Portland. I mean, a lot of times we start in Philly. Let's start in Portland, all right? The Portland Trailblazers last night played the Golden State Warriors. They end up losing by 10. All right. Granted, no Damian Lillard. He's out with a abdominal pain. CJ McCullough's out with a collapsed lung. The Blazers are basically playing with a skeleton roster. I mean, guys play pretty good. Norman Powell has been a consistent step up. You know what Robert Covington brings, all around defense, perimeter and paint, hitting open shots. Nurkic has really been applying himself more this year. Dennis Smith Jr. has even found, his time. And Nasir Little, a draft pick from a few years ago, he's coming along fine. But the problem with Portland is they're incomplete. You have stars together that don't mesh any longer. You have a coach in with a new philosophy, and you have a new GM on the way. It's safe to say Portland is in a rebuild. Either they know they're on the verge of a rebuild, or they haven't accepted the fact that they're in the middle of a rebuild. It's one or the other, all right? So the question is, do they keep Dame? Do they trade Dame? Do they keep McCullough? Do they trade McCullough? Now, I heard somebody say, and a few analysts put out there, even a few articles, Damian Lillard, I mean, they said the Portland Trail Blazers should look to trade Damian Lillard to Philly, but not for Ben Simmons. How is Ben and Dame supposed to play together exactly? What is Ben playing if he plays with Dame? Does he play the 4? Does he play the 5? Does he play the 3? He's definitely not playing the 2. They both kind of need the ball, so I don't really know how that's supposed to work. But yeah, what they say, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, Danny Green, and like 3, 4 first round picks for Damian Lillard and Robert Covington. I mean, not Damian Lillard. For no, it was Dame for, I forgot. I'm sorry. It was Dame for Tobias, Maxey, Danny, and a bunch of picks. And it was like, okay, you send Dame to Philly, and Philly keeps Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Now, in all fairness, that actually could work. Those 3 together, which is a scenario I never thought about, it could work. But how the fuck is Philly supposed to pay all that money? Embiid getting like 200. Simmons getting 150. Dame still got like 200 plus left over 4 years. Who the fuck else supposed to be on the roster? And how the fuck is that supposed to work if they don't win the title? Now, my personal thoughts on Portland is Portland should break the whole team up. You know, if you're going to do a rebuild and you're going to let Chauncey put the team in he wants to play, then you should give him room to build his own team. The only way you're going to do that is to get rid of your assets. Now, I say you trade CJ and Dame and just get it over with. And Nurkic, too. Trade them all. Who would you trade them for? Vi, you sound crazy. Why would they trade them both? I mean, what is Portland going to do? Who the fuck is Portland about to contend with in the West? Even with CJ and Dame healthy, neither one of them are lockdown defenders on the perimeter. Your best 2 perimeter defenders play the 3 and the 4. This is not going to work. Now, there's a difference if CJ decided to come off the bench, which I think if they wanted to keep this team, that would be the smarter deal, to start Dame, move Powell to the 2, move Covington to the 3, let Nance play the 4, and start Nurkic, and then bring you could bring CJ off the bench with Anthony Simons, Nasir Little, you know what I'm saying, and the other guys you got down there. But for real, man, just trade them. You could trade Dame and get a haul. Now, I'm going to tell you something that bothered me. They said trade Dame to the Cavs for Colin Sexton, Isaac Okoro, Kevin Love, and like our first rounder in 2022, our second rounder in 2022, and our first rounder in 2024. You know what's my first response to that? Ain't Dame like 31? Why the fuck would I give up 2 20-year-olds, a 20 and a 22-year-old, for a 31-year-old? And you want me to give up 3 picks? Now, don't get me wrong, man. Dame is a star, is a stud, and he's worth a haul. He just ain't worth it from my team, all right? As currently constructed, these Cavs are phenomenal. You know, the way that they're playing right now, you know, when Sexton comes back, he should just come off the bench voluntarily. Because if he's seeing the same thing I'm seeing with this team, if he came off the bench, the Cavs would be unbeatable. Imagine you could start Garland in them with a Coro, the 7-footers. You're going to play defense. You're going to stretch the floor, do all that. And then you could come in with Sexton, Rubio, and Chetty. Sexton going to score like a mom. Nobody on it. There's barely starters that can guard Sexton, let alone people on the second unit. So we won't have these phases of laps where we can't score because Sexton going to put up points. Sexton, bro, if Sexton agreed to come off the bench for this team right now, currently constructed, I think he could average 30-plus off the bench. He arguably could be the first bench player considered for an MVP award. Now, people say I'm jumping out the trees. But, you know, when it happens, you know, next year when he's back and these things get situated and he's playing, we'll revisit this conversation and see how crazy I might have been. All right, but back to Portland. So I don't see them trading to the Cavs. I actually would be very salty at Kobe Altman if he even considered trading those pieces for Damian Lillard. You know, and don't get me wrong, Dame with these trees and Garland would definitely hurt people. But you got to give up a Coro, and then you giving up the one consistent big that's been scoring off our bench and our best scorer. I can't do that. I can't do that. All right. Now, if you said Sexton and Love for Dame and some picks, I might have been more able to try to consider that than me having to give up all. That's just me. But where else could Dame go? All right. Where would I ideally like to see Dame go if he leaves Portland? I ain't gonna lie, it ain't Philly. I want to see Dame go to a big market. It's only a few big markets. Ideally, I would have loved to see Dame in Miami. Dame, Jimmy, and Adebayo, crucial. Okay? You could easily trade Lowry, Oladipo, Tyler Hero, and run with that. And get Covington and Lillard, and you got Lillard, Jimmy, Duncan, Covington with Adebayo. Man, that shit'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But, you know, I listen to Stephen A in the mornings on the way to work. I listen to a lot of people. I listen to Mad Dog. I listen to Sirius XM 86, Channel 86, with was that Eddie Johnson and them. Quite a few people be on there. I listen to them though. I try to get them out. And people say Dame, the only place Dame would want to go to is the New York Knicks. Damian Lillard to the New York Knicks. That's very interesting. Now the question is, who would the Knicks center the trade around? Or who would Chauncey want? You know, if you ask me, they will probably want to start with R.J. Barrett, but R.J. Barrett don't make enough. I highly doubt you want to give up, as a New Yorker, you want to give up R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. So it will probably have to start with Julius and a plethora of picks. Maybe the picks is really what they center it around, And the players are just added pieces. All right. So let's play with this. Let's start with Dame and Julius because their salaries match up more than anybody's. All right. The Knicks will ultimately be getting Dame and a throw-in player. It's hard for it not to be Robert Covington, being of what he provides as a defender that Dame wouldn't bring you, and his contract is pretty. He make about 8, 7, 8, 9 million a year. That's in today's contracts. That's hella friendly, very tradable. So who would New York be giving up? Julius, a bunch of picks. They would probably want to throw Kevin Knox in the deal. I don't really know if they would take Kevin Knox, Portland would, because being that they got Larry Nance and Nasir Little. Now, I could probably see Larry Nance being a part of the deal, though, because Larry Nance got a pretty favorable contract, too. And him and Dame in New York, they would probably want somebody to play defense or something. They got Obi Toppin down there, so I will imagine Obi will automatically start. Mitchell Robinson would be there. I want to say RJ Barrett will probably stay. So it'll be Julius. They will probably ask for Emmanuel quickly. Because it's not RJ Barrett, I would say Julius, Emmanuel quickly, Kevin Knox, and probably a plethora of picks. Since it's New York, I'm pretty sure at least 4 first rounders, or at least 2 first rounders guaranteed, and like 2 or 3 pick swaps. Does this a trade I think New York should pull off? I think they should. I think New York should do whatever they can to stay relevant. I like Julius Randle. I like the way he plays. But if Chauncey was the one coaching him, that would be – I like Chauncey coaching Julius Randle. Big guy who can move, you know what I'm saying? Chauncey played bigger than what he is. Chauncey like 6'4", but Mr. Big Shot played big, man. Y'all forget he played defense. He backed you down. He took you off the dribble. He took you off the pick. Like, Chauncey, he wasn't the most athletic guy, but skills? Oh, Chauncey has skills. So I think he would be a good influence on Julius Randle. And being that, Portland still had Anthony Simons over there with Norman Powell, I think those two playing in the backcourt, putting Julius at the 3, most likely in the West. Then keeping Covington at the 4 with Nurkic, something like that. Or being that they're getting Kevin Knox, I don't think Emmanuel quickly will start over there, but him and Anthony Simons would definitely be a nice 1-2 combination at the point guard. You know what I mean? You get Kevin Knox in there, you could fit him in there. Him and Nasir Little may be nice. Maybe that trade might include Nance, Covington, and Dame, and they give up CJ and that. And then that it might include Evan Fournier too. Because Fournier ain't doing shit for them. Plus, he making a nice little penny. And I think Dame make like $40 million this year. I think Julius make like 30 something. You know what I'm saying? And you add Covington and them, so it'd be like 60. So you have to add Fournier. Fournier contract and put it up at like 50 something. And then, you add Quickly and Knox. That'll about cover it with the draft picks. In the cap room, New York was still – it would cover it. But that, to me, that's the move, though. Because I don't really see Dame going nowhere else that would be – now, humor me when I say I could see Dame in Dallas. Dame, Luka, Porzingis. I could see that. You know what I'm saying? With Jason Kidd, I could see that. That'd be nice. But that's about all right? So off the Dame front, though, the Lakers, all right? They made the big splash. You get Bron over here. You got Bron over here with AD. They make the trade, bring in Russell, get rid of Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, draft pick, all right? the Lakers start off the season, and I think right now the Laker record is 13-12. They sit sixth place in the West. Their last win looked at more like, I guess, the team they're going to resemble. Bron being the lead scorer, Russell doing most of the passing, the secondary score, and AD being the defensive presence in the paint and doing cleanup and getting his points like that. I don't think AD likes that role because AD wants to score. But it's the winning role. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Bron at the end of his career, why not make him the scorer? It's Bron. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Enjoy that. But I think, being a Clevelander, a guy who watched LeBron his whole career and seeing how he put together his teams and how they work, I don't think you can panic before All-Star break. Till after All-Star break. Usually a LeBron team picks it up, after about 30 games. Around like the 30, 40 game mark, that's when they really start hitting their stride. Because at that point, they figure out who can do what, who can do who, how to coach mesh. So I'm not shocked to hear, oh, should Frank Vogel be fired? I'm not shocked to hear, oh, it don't look like they can work. Man, every time he done put together a team, they say the same shit. It's redundancy. They say the same things, man. And every time, here come Bron. Now, this one is a little different because, for one, he don't have a shooter per se. We could argue when he did the first big three in Miami that he didn't have no shooter. Him and Wade wasn't really shooters. Bosh wasn't really a shooter, but all of them could hit jump shots. Bosh probably had the better jumper out of all of them, even though Wade was deadly from mid-range too. So you had guys who could hit jump shots, wasn't necessarily shooters, but guys who consistently take over games with the jump shot if need be, which is what you need. Russell isn't that guy per se. AD can do it, but he isn't that guy per se. Bron is probably the best out of all of them if we talking just pure shooter-wise. So that's a different element for them. But, Wayne Ellington is a shooter, bro. Malik Monk is a shooter, bro. Ken Bazemore can shoot, bro. I got to give him his credit. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Nunn can shoot. He definitely could score. So I think, if they added a big man shooter to help stretch the floor, that would really help. If they want to try to, get a Love or somebody, somebody who could, that's what they need. They need a big man stretch 4 or 5, who consistently do that for them. But I'm not worried about the Lakers. I really think people should not underestimate what they're going to bring to the table because in a 7-game series, you could literally let Russ take over a game, Bron take over a game, AD take over a game, and there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we just breaking it down to a 7-game series, each one of them could win a game by themselves. Arguably, each one of them can win 2 games by themselves. So it's just all about, how the pieces around them go mesh. I think they did right by the young guys they did get and the older guys that they do got. And I forgot Melo. Melo, the shooter over there. I forgot Melo was over there. How did I forget that? And Melo balling. Melo averaging like 14, 15 points a game this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, Melo balling, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to – man, listen, we got to get these boys their props, okay? Hold on. Let me see exactly what Melo averaged. Hold on. Let me be accurate with this. Melo averaging 14. He averaging 14 a game, bro. On like – okay, he playing like 28 minutes. It's just all about, okay. That's pretty good, man. Hey, you feel me? Bro. So I think, don't sleep on the Lakers. I wouldn't write them out just yet. Um, it's a lot of teams in the West playing really good though. Shout out to the Golden State Warriors, bruh. Golden State doing their thing. And since I'm on Golden State, let me tell you, Steph funny as fuck. Because Steph ass tried to act like he wasn't going to try to go for the record last night, which I thought would have been a smart mind state. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you could break Ray Allen record and Clay's record in the same night. Is you going to try to go for it? The fact that you had everybody on that, I figured in the first quarter, right, he was just going to come out and just take it to the well. Why not? Everybody and their mama know you're going to want to shoot a three. So why not use your pump fake, step in, hit a two, step in, go to the rack, step in, throw some oops, get everybody good in the first quarter. Bro, in the first quarter, Steph could have had like 12 assists and changed the whole complexion of the game. And then in the second quarter, he could have took 12 threes. You know what I'm saying? But he came out thirsty.
Because that's what he do, man. Hey, shout out to Steph Curry, man. Golden Boys. We coming for another one this year. If it ain't coming from the Cavs, it's coming from Golden State, man. Remember that. And I already bet at that bag. I bet at that bag soon as the season begins. Hey, don't let the Cavs make the playoffs. Bag coming. And if they win the ship, ooh, big bag.
Man,
Hey, off the $5 though. Believe that. All right, get back to your business. I think I bet 10 on the Cavs.
Winning the ship?
Yeah, I think I bet 10 on the Cavs winning the ship.
Man.
Or it might have been 5 on the Cavs winning the ship and 10 making the playoffs. But both of them bet 800 plus. If they win.
I need to get on that. Need to get on that.
Yeah. All right, get back to your and the store run was a success.
I sing.
Oh, yeah. All right, man. Get back to doing your thing. I'm about to go make this smoothie.
Shout out to Real Double O. You feel me? Hollywood said tripping. Hey, and shout out to the Melon app. You know what I'm saying? Allowing us to do these broadcasts and stream for y'all and do these little things, Now, the following ain't as big as I like it. It's growing. It's coming. People tune in. But shout out to the app, man, for just, being able to let us maneuver and kind of put things out the way we want them to and test things out. So, what I'm saying? Big shout out to the Melon app. You know what I'm saying? But back to the NBA. Now, as I was saying, Golden State and Steph being thirsty last night, all right, end up starting off the game like 2 for 9. In the mid, like the end of the second, he hit a couple shots, in the third he hit a shot, but he was too thirsty last night, man. Now, because he was too thirsty, I think in this next game, you could probably see Steph a little more relaxed, and I wouldn't be shocked if he broke the record in this next game. You know what I'm saying? Because he only need like 9. I wouldn't be shocked to see him hit 9 or 10 threes. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be shocked if if he only hit a couple and he saved it, man. Because regardless of what, we know he gonna break the record. Like it ain't no question of if, it's just when. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it could be next game. But the Warriors look hella good this year, bro. I don't think they look as runaway with things as people are making it seem. I think the fact that this same team minus Kuminga and Moody virtually played together last year, and just knowing, how Golden State is structured, and how continuity just always makes each year better than the last. I just think it's just a culmination of that. And, a lot of teams still adjusting and getting back to an 82-game season, getting pieces back, working with new pieces, and it's the beginning of the year. I feel like somewhere between the beginning of the new 2022 and when Clay come back, they gonna hit a little rough patch. You know what I'm saying? They're going to hit a little rough patch and everybody going to be looking at them crazy. But I still think they, once Clay come back and when Wiseman come back, they definitely going to be formidable. Ain't no mystery about that, man. They definitely going to be one of them ones. But I don't think Golden State is looking as dominant as they did in the years when, I just think they just got off to a hot start. Phoenix, that's who the fuck y'all should be worried about. Shout out to my bartender for the coquito. You know what I'm saying? Phoenix, man. I'm happy for the city of Phoenix. Phoenix is another home for me. It's one of the first place I went when I started to really come out and really venture out in the world. It helped me set plays and set forth a good foundation to get on my path. I made a lot of good friends out there, a lot of good connections, did a lot of things. And it's nice to see that city really coming up, all right, especially on the sports teams because, you wouldn't know this, but, Phoenix ain't no different than any other loyal sports town, man. You know what I'm saying? They love their team too. You know what I'm saying? They ain't used to winning like a lot of us. So it's good. You know what I'm saying? But them guys look really good. I'm going to say this, and I've been saying this to my homie Arizona Owl, and I'm going to keep this, man. They need to figure out who's playing the four because they're not unlocking everything they could do. Phoenix needs somebody who can rebound and play defense so Ayton could play more offense. Starting Crowder and Mikal Bridges is not ideal for long-term success for them, if you ask me. You need to allow CP3, Booker, and Mikal Bridges to play the 1, 2, and 3, and you need to find a 4 that rebounds and defends. All right? They need a guy down there to take that pressure off Ayton. They don't want to pay him, and then you want to ask him to be the only dominant big in the paint. You know what I'm saying? On both ends. Like, you asked him to do too much, and you don't want to pay him. Like, you made that up. All right? I don't know why y'all ain't playing Jalen Smith. Y'all drafted him. I don't understand why Monty isn't playing him. I think that's the guy they got, and that's the guy they should use. But for some reason, he don't want to use him. So they need to find the guy. Phoenix looked like the best team in the league, if you ask me. I know Golden State hot, but Phoenix looks like the best team in the league, if you asking me. What they have at their disposal going into Cameron Payne, Cameron Johnson. They're starting to use Nader more. Jay Crowder gonna always be who he be. Even he's starting to use Frank Kaminsky more. You know what I'm saying? A stretch big. Which is, I think, they should have used him last year in the finals. But that's another conversation. Phoenix looked like the best team in the league. I expect them to do things. But if they don't find a way to bring a real defender and rebounder at that 4 to allow Ayton to play more freely on offense, they're going to have a tough time getting back to the Western Conference Finals. Just bottom line. They're not going to hit the same thing they got last year, most likely. You know what I'm saying? With people not being able to play or being injured or being unavailable. I don't think you're going to have I don't believe there's going to be a lot of that when it comes playoff time in these NBA playoffs. So, I think they need to find that. But for the most part, they look damn good. Utah looked damn good. Memphis looked good. Listen, Memphis is my dark horse to go to the Western Conference Finals. All right. Look, Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing. They done unlocked him. All right. Steven Adams clearly is a great fit for them down there with his rebounding and defense. All right. Allowing Jaren to play more freely on the perimeter and moving around. developing his game more as a young man. We know what Ja Morant do. You know what I'm saying? You see how he impacts the game, and every time he on the floor, it ain't nothing but highlight reels and excitement. Dylan Brooks is back. Desmond Bane has been able to really show off. Listen, Memphis, hey, Memphis gonna give people a lot of problems in this West. They gonna give people a lot of problems because they literally, you know, from I would say if Ja goes down, what happens? Hopefully Ja don't, because their backup point guard position, I don't believe is all that stellar. But what they got? DeAndre Melton. They got Tyus Jones. I like Tyus though. Tyus a baller though. You know what I'm saying? He a short guy though, but Tyus a baller. But and Kyle Anderson can run some. He ain't the fastest, but he can definitely facilitate an offense. You know what I'm saying? From the top of the key and shit, from the perimeter and shit like that. So, but man, Memphis looks scary, bruh. Memphis looks scary, bruh. I mean, dude, look, you got Ja averaging 24, Brooks averaging 17, Jaren Jackson averaging 16, Desmond Bane averaging 16. You know what I'm saying? And then you still got a plethora of guys down here who can give you buckets at any given time if they need to, but they don't need to rely on them. You know what I'm saying? Man, don't sleep on Memphis, man. Denver is the team we waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody said it out loud for real, but Denver is the team we waiting for. Nurk is still playing at a high level, bro. Aaron Gordon finding his way to fit in. It's unfortunate, that they gonna miss Michael Porter Jr. for the rest of the season. We're still gonna bode well for them because they got guys down there that's gonna really be able to, and that allows Aaron Gordon to get more touches. But when Jamal Murray comes back, bro, it's gonna be a whole different game in the West. You know what I'm saying? And Jamal Murray gonna come back angry, bro. He didn't miss the whole season. Plus, you know what I'm saying? They got kicked out of the playoffs, bro. He gonna come back furious, bro. You feel me? He gonna come back on one. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they gonna do over there. The Dallas Mavericks, they need a piece, man. Dallas need a big three. Dallas and what piece they need. If you ask me, they need a defensive guy. They need a guy that could come over there and really take some pressure off of Luka and Porzingis and allow them to be more offensive weapons. I think Dallas should be the team to make a big push for Ben Simmons. I'm going to just say that. Just looking at what's been going on, how it's moving, I think Dallas should. I mean, what you got to offer? Some picks. It's going to start with Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying? You probably might have to throw in a Jalen Brunson. You know, I mean, they ain't really got a lot, but it's a few pieces they can get. It's going to be a lot about them picks, though. They going to get a lot of picks, probably like 6 of them joints. But if I was Mark Cuban, that's the move I would make. Because if you put Ben Simmons with Luka and Porzingis, now you talk about something. You know what I'm saying? Now you playing with something, man. You got something tangible that you could really, really use. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pushing for that. That's a trade I would like to see. I spent a lot of time in the Western Conference so far. Sacramento looks kind of good. They probably, my problem with Sacramento or my issue is, man, why y'all not letting Marvin Bagley play, man? Marvin Bagley a dog, man. And they got him over there looking second rate. And I just think about DeMarcus Cousins, man, and how they played DeMarcus Cousins and how much of a dog DeMarcus Cousins was and how they played him, man, and made him to see something he not, man. You know what I'm saying? But they got a lot of talent over there. Fox, Halliburton, with Bagley, they got Tristan Thompson, Rashawn Holmes, and really came along. Harrison Barnes is playing a lot better these days. Damian Mitchell is really making an impact on that team. So they definitely got some pieces, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know how much you can contend with that team, especially with a team like Minnesota who really got all the pieces. They just ain't put it together. And to be honest, if Minnesota start really playing like a team, Minnesota could be the most dangerous team in the West if they put it together like a team. If they take all their egos out and really just play, bruh, they will give a lot of people problems. Now, what they is missing is a backup big man that really take the pressure off Cat as a defender. But Memphis got some pieces, man. I don't know what's up with San Antonio. We already know OKC rebuilding. It is a total mess in New Orleans with the Pelicans and Zion and them. I don't believe in David Griffin as a GM anyway. I don't know why somebody would hire him in the first damn place. He's not a guy that I would ever consider for a job running my franchise because I don't never think he's ever did a good job as a GM of a franchise. That's just me. All right. But let's go to the Eastern Conference. All right. When it comes to the East, you take a look at Brooklyn and you say Brooklyn is one of those teams. All right. Even without Kyrie, it's gonna be hard to beat them. But in my opinion, if they want to win it all, they need Kyrie. I think Kyrie gonna end up playing at some point. With all this vaccination stuff and all these rules and leniency and all this new news coming out about how virtually a lot of these requirements wasn't really necessary to begin with, which most of us already knew in the first place. But Kyrie will be back for the important stretch run. And when he do come back, they're going to be a fucking problem. Now, I don't know if they're going to be a fucking problem. Ain't no mystery about that shit. They're going to be a problem. The way they put that bench together with young guys and veteran guys to play important roles, a lot of people making a big deal about them not playing Blake Griffin. But I think for the beginning of the season, you don't need him. After the All-Star break, they're going to need him a lot more. But right now, letting these young guys get some experience and play, you know what I'm saying, knowing what it's like to play with these guys and play against these teams, these tough teams too, that's going to help a lot. And it's going to preserve a lot in the tank, for when Griffin come in and really be able to do his thing. Let him get a little more healthy, you know what I'm saying, and really back in form. And he going to probably be one of the X factor pieces to them making a title run if that's what it comes out to. But, they ain't unbeatable. All right? And yes, I just hinted at in all that and saying that you could see a Brooklyn versus Phoenix championship. You could. But we're not going to deny the Bucks. The Bucks look good now that everybody getting back healthy. They're still missing Dante DiVincenzo. I really want to see what that looks like when he plays with this team. But, we can't count them out, man. they still gonna dominate. I expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, I don't know if they're gonna go to the ship, but I expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. That is for sure. Uh, Miami, mm, Miami could turn up once Oladipo come in. Uh, I don't know, man. It's something about Miami that's like it's something missing. They together consistent. They're a little undersized for what they're gonna have to go against for real. I don't know, but it's just something about Miami that's just like, man, y'all might make it to the second round, but I wouldn't be surprised if you got put off the first round. I wouldn't even be surprised if Miami has ended up in the play-in. Um, you know, uh, and I don't say that because I don't think Miami's overhyped per se. I just don't think they got all the personnel to go against the type of teams they're gonna go against. But the players they do got can do it. But I think you're gonna be asking more than you should out of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you're gonna be asking so much out of them that they're gonna be able to really play their games enough to really contend. Something gotta shake over there. Something gotta shake. But they're gonna play good D. Ain't no mystery about it. But they scoring inconsistent, man. You know what I'm saying? Can Lowry be consistent scorer? Will Hero turn it up? Can Duncan Robinson find his shot again? Because he's been ass the last like 6, 7 games. Just ass. You know, PJ Tucker's a nice pickup, and he gonna do what he do, but he like 36, 37. You know what I'm saying? You lost none. You lost Iggy. Washington. I like Washington. I actually like Washington a lot. The one thing that's making me mad about Washington is why the fuck Spencer Dinwiddie ain't fucking scoring like that. That's the only thing that's pissing me off about why. But in all fairness, he's doing a hell of a job as a point guard, uh, and that might be going overlooked. All right, he ain't putting up a lot of flashy numbers. Right now, what he averaging? 13 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But understand, Montrez averaging 15, Kuzma averaging 13, Bill averaging 22, Pope averaging 11, Gafford averaging 10. You know what I'm saying? So, guys like Pope, Caldwell Pope, Kyle Kuzma, Gafford, and Montrezl Harrell are really benefiting from Spencer Dinwiddie being the facilitator and running the offense. Um, you know, they've been doing a nice job with the rotations of big man, rotating with Harrell and Gafford and Bertans, and Thomas Bryant isn't back yet, and that's probably gonna really add another dimension to that team. But I like Washington, and I think Washington gonna give some people some problems. Whoever their first round matchup is, they gonna give them some fucking problems, man. It ain't gonna be a cakewalk. I can promise you that. You know, in spite of all the bullshit surrounding Philadelphia, Philly has actually played pretty well. I've actually enjoyed the idea of Seth Curry playing the point guard with Embiid at the center. Tobias Harris has been consistent. You know what I'm saying? When he's played, he's contributed, and done his thing. Uh, Andre Drummond over there has actually pretty much worked out. They need more scoring from the wings, though. Danny Green, Matisse Thybulle, uh, who else over here? Uh, Danny Green, Matisse Thybulle. Hold on. Cork Maz. Uh, I'm missing. Oh, Shake Milton and Niang. All right, they need a score, bro. I mean, Seth could do it. They play pretty good defense, but they need another scorer, bro. Somebody on that team got to be able to get some buckets. It's probably going to be Tyrese Maxey. He's still growing. And, you know, he's doing his thing, but they're going to need somebody who can come out and give them 30 besides, you know, Embiid and Harris. They need somebody, you know, who can give them 30. I mean, Seth can give you 30 for sure, but he's a shooter. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody. And Seth got defense. Seth don't get enough credit for his defense, man. He a two-way player. You know what I'm saying? Ain't too many people who can shoot better than him. You feel me? But Philly, you know, they might be looking at a plan this year. You know, people talking ad nauseum about them and Ben Simmons and, you know, Rostam, man, they should have been trading him and they being a piece of shit by just trying to hold on to him or whatever. But I can say, though, I don't knock Daryl Morey for waiting as far as finding a nice deal because he was right about one thing. As you get more towards the All-Star break in the middle of the season, more teams become desperate and want to do things, depending on how the season is going. So I do understand that notion. But, bro, if we get to the All-Star break and Ben Simmons ain't playing or traded, man, we got to start condemning this front office for not owning up to their mistakes and trying to make this man come in and end up being a pariah for something that he wasn't even involved in. His ownership is getting real shitty, and I ain't condoning that shit. Atlanta has been a surprise team because I thought Atlanta was going to be a little more feisty. However, they remind me a lot of the Cavs when LeBron was here. They didn't look like they were going to be formidable until they got to crunch time. And if nothing else, last season showing that when it's time to show up, Atlanta will show up. They've had a rotation of guys. You know, Trae Young has missed a little time. Reddish missed a little time. I think Capella missed a little time. But, you know, they sit at 13 and 12 right now, 8 in the East. I think at some point they're going to hit a nice winning streak and end up climbing the ranks. But you know, we going to see. You know, I ain't really got a conclusion on Atlanta right now, but I want to see where they at around the All-Star break before I start really analyzing and breaking their shit down for real. Charlotte. I like Charlotte, man. Charlotte exciting. In all fairness, though, I think they could play spoiler. I think they still another year away from really being kind of dominant-ish. But they're fun to watch. Melo was an outstanding pick. Bridges is coming along just fine. Gordon Hayward seems happy in his role playing with this team. Terry Rozier is really bringing it. They really suffer from a lack of a dominant big. But, you know, with Vernon Carey down there, Kai Jones, you know, they got Plumlee. That's why I say they're about another year away. But when Kai Jones and Vernon Carey start playing, it could get real. It get real dramatic over there, man, for the rest of the league. So I like what they doing. Boston needs a 4. Boston needs a stretch 4. I hate to see Tatum. I definitely like what they got going on in Charlotte. You feel me? Charlotte, like I say, man, they one of them teams, man. But Boston, bro, Boston need a stretch 4. I like Marcus at the point. I like Jalen at the 2. I like Tatum at the 3. I like Robert Williams at the 5. Horford is a good 4 off the bench. They need a stretch 4 who can rebound. You know, asking Tatum to play the 4 is unfair. Asking Jaylen Brown to play the 3 is unfair. But keeping them at the wings with Marcus Smart at the point is great. Dennis Schroeder, great pickup. Be able to rotate him and Payton Pritchard on the backup at times that you may need to play Marcus Smart at the 2. Outstanding. Neesmith is a shooter coming along. You got Josh Richardson down there. But they need a stretch 4, bro. They need a stretch 4. Once they get that stretch 4, Boston going to give a lot of people problems. It's going to be depending on what they're going to have to give up to get that stretch 4, but they need a stretch 4 who can rebound. You know what I'm saying? New York, I spoke on New York when I was speaking on Dame, and that's probably where my final thoughts at with New York. I'm not high on Tibbs, but Tibbs is a good coach. But they got to do something to shake it up. Toronto, I'm actually surprised Toronto not doing a lot better on the record side, but I don't think they doing bad. Siakam was out for Buku. He just been back like the last 4 or 5 games. So I really I think that's gonna be a team to watch out for when it comes to playing time. They're gonna really give a lot of teams problems. If they ended up being the 7th seed, I wouldn't be shocked. They play so good on the defensive end. On the offensive end is really probably where they gonna really be tested. Who's going to get buckets besides Van Fleet? Can Siakam be that guy as a scorer? Can Anunoby continue to evolve? What other guys out there is going to contribute and really help? I like Precious Achiuwa with them. I think he really fits. But he can't start when Anunoby comes back. And that team going to be even more a problem when Anunoby come back. Now, Indiana, interesting as hell. And why is Indiana interesting as hell? Because Indiana got a fucking squad. Even with TJ Warren out. Indiana got a fucking squad. Indiana is 11-16. Granted, Karis LeVert was out for the first 10, 12 games or some shit, 15 games or some shit. He's just now being really back. Sabonis is playing well. Him and Brogdon play so good together. I'm wondering if they making those the building blocks and trying to just build around those two. Miles Turner should be making way more of an impact than he is, and it's just sad that he's not. I don't even know what the fuck that's about. But Miles Turner should be making way more of an impact than he is. I don't know what's up with those guys, y'all. I just throw my hands up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm hearing they trying to trade pieces, so you can see guys like Miles Turner, Karis LeVert be traded. But I think they're trying to build that team around Brogdon and Sabonis. And I think that's pretty smart. Those two guys are very consistent. They play both ways, triple-double capable on any given night. You put the right pieces around those two guys, you really got a solid team in the East. I think they got a solid team now, but, it's highly understandable if Rick Carlisle want to do something different. He's a guy who's won a title, who's built multiple teams and took them to the finals. So it's hard to argue against any strategy that he's had. But I hope that he's planning for the game that it is now and not the game that he's used to growing up to, because it's totally different. With that being said, let's go home. All right. These motherfucking Cavs is doing their motherfucking thing, dog. I can't stress enough how proud I am of these Cavaliers. This boy JB Bickerstaff, what? If he ain't doing a phenomenal job as a coach, I don't even know what a phenomenal job as a coach is then. Okay, JB has 8 guys averaging double figures. He has his points guards averaging about 7 apiece. All right. And I'm going to say 7 guys because I guess I can't keep Saxon in there because he's gone. But, 7 guys averaging double figures. They sit in 7th in the East right now, 14-12 record. They've beaten a lot of good teams. And the teams that they lost to, they had to play their A++ game to beat them. And the Cavs ain't even figured it all out yet. I said at the beginning of the year, in preseason, if Kevin Love buys in and Ricky Rubio played, that they could win 40 games. And right now, they on pace to win in 40 games.
Yes, sir. We said it first here at InDaStreetzSportz, man.
Okay? Kevin Love is bought in. And like I was saying, why wouldn't he? Bro, you don't really got to play no defense like that. You just got to come in and play support role, be a leader, and score. Which everybody wants to know, can you still score? And he could definitely still shoot that bitch. He can still pass. You know what I'm saying? He's bought in. The Kevin Love that cried and bitched and did all that the last, he's bought in. Ricky Rubio has a lot to do with that. You know, I can't stress enough how grateful and appreciative we are of having Ricky Rubio on this team. All right? Rube, dog, you have been everything in a bag of chips to this franchise, and we appreciate everything you've contributed thus far. My guy, you make us look very good. Very, very good. You've been a tremendous leader thus far, and we needed that. You gave us everything we needed plus some, while being able to still play the game you love at what you consider to be a high level, or getting back to being at the high level you want to be. Because I think he still got more to show us. You know what I'm saying? Evan Mobley. Now, mind you, wait though. Since way before last season was over, I kept screaming, the Cavs gonna get Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is the piece. You got Okoro, you got Sexton, you got Garland, you just got Allen. You add Mobley, it's a win. I kept saying Mobley gonna play the 4. Oh, he's a 5. No, he just gotta get his body up. He's a 5, so he gonna play the 4. All right. Evan Mobley is averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks per 33 minutes right now in 22 games. That's outstanding. Okay. In games that Evan Mobley has played, the Cavs are like 13 and it was like 13-8 or some shit. 14-8. That's amazing. That guy is impacting winning. And he ain't even found his own offensive repertoire yet. That's fucking fire. All right. Garland coming out his bag. What I say? Garland could be giving us 20-7 this year. You know, he was at like 17-6 last year. I say he could give us 20-9 actually. What he giving me? 20-7.5 right now? 19.5 and 7. All right. And there's been a couple games where he didn't have like 8 assists in the first half. All right. Boy, listen. These Cavs, now, Sexton being down hurts. But as I was alluding to earlier in the stream, if Sexton comes in and comes off the bench, and they just make Garland and Sexton the point guard. They the backcourt of the future, but not just You let Garland start, let him facilitate, allow Coro to grow his offensive game, and bring Sexton off the bench and allow him to grow as a scorer. You feel me? And maybe in another season or two, you can start him again because they know winning and get all that. But if he comes in and comes off the bench, bruh, Sexton can give us 30 off the bench every night with no problem. That's fucking fire. All right? Jared Allen down here giving you 17 and 11. Okay? Chetty off the bench giving you 11. Rubio giving you 13 off the bench. Love giving you 11 off the bench. But they be running this little format where they got Rubio, Love, Marketing, Mobley, and Garland, or Allen and Garland on the floor. How the fuck can you stop that? You got two big man shooters who can shoot the fuck out that bitch. You got a big guy, Allen, who gonna house anything in the paint. And then you got two crafty dribbling, shooting, creating, and dude, that shit be giving teams headaches. Especially when Garland is being assertive. That shit be giving them headaches, bro. What I like about Mobley game is he let the game come to him on offense. He don't force nothing. It's a few shots that he take that I'd be like, why you ain't take a different shot? But every shot being the floor of the offense. It's not like he like, all right, let me get this good shot. You know what I'm saying? But Mobley gonna be the guy. Now, Coro, this who the fuck I want to talk to. Ayo, Isaac. Why the fuck you act like you don't know how to score? What are you scared of? You're doing this shit Garland was doing last year. And, if Sexton was here, you could probably get away with that shit. But no. Coral, we fuck with you heavy. I'm going to need you to show the league that you can put up points. You got a handle. You got enough of a handle to beat people one-on-one. You got a mid-range jump shot that you can use. You got a series of up fakes and moves that allow you to get to the bucket. You know how to work off the triple threat. Stop acting like you don't want the goddamn ball on offense, bro. Only then will you not have to spend so much energy on defense because the person that you're guarding is going to have to expend the same amount of energy on the defensive end because you're being aggressive on the offense. I need you to come with it, baby. Come on, baby. I need you to come with it, baby. Okay? But, he's still working back all the way from the hamstring, issues and shit. And, I can say that he's trying. He's putting up more shots. You know what I'm saying? He is going to be aggressive. And while I'm speaking on them and thinking about the game last night, I didn't talk about the Chicago Bulls. I skipped them. It wasn't on purpose, though. Before I continue with these Cavs, even though the Cavs destroyed their ass last night, 115-192. But Chicago was without DeRozan. They're missing quite a few guys. But Ball played, Levine played, Vucevic played. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Jones Jr. played. They don't have Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso was out, which is a big thing. I think that's instrumental to their team too. But the Cavs handle business. Y'all ain't at full strength. You can't fuck with us. All right? But, bro, it is so nice to see Lonzo Ball getting to play his game. It is so nice to see Lonzo Ball getting to play his game. Lonzo Ball being able to do what he loves to do at a high level is just, I love it. Okay, I'm digging it so much. All right, it's it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Zach LaVine and Vucevic getting to be the scorers they need to be. DeMar DeRozan is it looked like DeMar DeRozan lightweight just found the fountain of youth though. I ain't gonna lie. It looked like he just found the fountain of youth. All right. The boy playing really well. You know what I'm saying? And if he keep this up, we're gonna be talking about is he MVP candidate, especially if the Bulls keep up, at this pace of winning. Right now they sitting at 17-7, second in the East, behind Brooklyn. But dude, when I tell you these guys look really, really good, they look really, really good. All right, but the Cavs tapped that ass last night. The Cavs put it on them last night. All right, it wasn't even debatable. So, I watch out for these Cavs, man. Is it possible that the Cavs could make a move? It's very possible. But with guys like Lamar Stevens stepping up, see what a guy like Dean Wade is going to bring you when he comes back. He's been out for a minute. I would like to see what happens with Dylan Windler when he starts to really get into form, because his shooting ability is going to be the reason that we can make some moves. Until his shooting ability comes, into, some consistent type of, I don't really, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Did my shit? Oh my God, I hate when my phone does this. My phone's so aggravating sometimes, bro. Just do what I ask you to do. All right? But I like to see marketing. You know what? Marketing ain't even hit his full potential yet, bro. Marketing still finding his way, but when marketing start getting on his 20 points a game, WAP, all right, when Evan Mobley really get into his full, I'm here to make my presence known phase, bruh, it's about to get so real. I'm talking about it's about to get so real. And the league ain't about to have no answer for this. You know what I'm saying? We got to commend Kobe Altman for his job in assembling this team, for his faith that JB Bickerstaff is the guy to get the job done, for JB Bickerstaff being the guy to come in. Hold on, I got to adjust my phone, y'all. For being the guy to come in and really help this team grow. He is that boy JB. What that boy JB. That boy JB. Man, we got to show him love. You know what I'm saying? But these Cavs look like they're about to play playoff spoiler to some really good teams in the East. They lost back-to-back games to the Utah Jazz and the Milwaukee Bucks, but Utah was up 17 in the fourth, and the Cavs only lost by one. The Cavs actually came back and took the lead and lost by one. Then they played Milwaukee on the back-to-back, and if Giannis didn't assert himself in that second half, it was about to be a long day for Milwaukee. The Cavs went on a little run where they couldn't score, which is the same thing that happened to them in the Utah game. This is where we say, damn, Sexton would just be nice right now. But they really playing real well. Then they came back and they blew out Chicago last night. They beat a good Denver team. Like they've beaten some really, really good teams this year. And they beat them convincingly. Not they lucky and got that. They really manhandled these teams. And nobody has figured out how to combat the 7-footers. But once again, when you got a guy who can play in the paint, a guy who can play inside and out, and a guy who could play the perimeter, and they all 7 foot. And you got excuse me, bro. I'm about to say what happened. Okay.
All right, now we back. Now it's looking good. You was distorted, big ass head. We back. Yeah, it was distorted all kinds of shit. But the audio was still good. So I want
okay.
to keep it going. All right, get back on it.
For sure. So yeah, these Cavs, man. I so appreciate this team competing and doing what they do. I'm missing Sexton right now, though. I miss Sexton. Colin, we missing you right now, bro. All right, we missing you. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? We wish you was here. All right, get healthy, work on your handles and your jump shot. All right, be a catching, learn, work on the catch and shoot off the screens, off the off ball screens, and work on getting your handle tighter to get more off the dribble shots. This is the two things I think you need to work on. I think you're gonna keep working on your defense regardless. I think that's just a part of who you are. You know what I'm saying? But those two things on the offensive end to go with what you already bring to the table, bro, you're gonna be one of them ones. All right, we missing you. All right, but let's talk about football. All right, I done spent the whole first half talking about basketball, and I love basketball, but my first love is football, dog. All right, I love football to death. I've been a football fan 95% of my life. You hear me? All right, so I am a true fan, and these last 5 weeks really about to set the tone. All right, this AFC right now is looking so crazy. It's looking so crazy. All right, because you got New England at 9-4, Tennessee at 8-4, Baltimore at 8-4, Kansas City at 8-4. You got the Chargers at 7-5, Cincinnati at 7-5, Buffalo at 7-5. All right, so those are the top 7 seeds. Then you got Pittsburgh at 6-5, Indiana at yeah, is it Indiana? Indianapolis. At 7-6, Las Vegas at 6-6, the Browns at 6-6, Denver at 6-6. All right, so literally one game separates the 12th seed from the 5th seed, and a win and a loss separates them from the 2nd seed. This shit crazy. All right. But let's look around the league. All right. New England is hot, boy. New England is hot, boy. It is that damn Bill Belichick, boy. How could you ever bet against him? That Bill a damn monster, boy. His ability as a coach to be disciplined enough to do what needs to be done is severely underappreciated. All these coaches want to come in and try to top Bill. You got to master that first. Can you identify a team's weakness and build a team good enough to take advantage of anybody's weakness? Can it not be all about the stats and all about the outcome of the game? And let the stats just come with getting towards the outcome of the game. This is what Bill does. Um, Bruh, if they keep playing like this, New England might win out and be the number 1 seed. I think if they do that, they'll probably fold in the playoffs just on the strength. I don't know, but it's possible. It's possible they could make a play. They could make a Super Bowl run. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just like, damn, bro. Bill coming back with a vengeance. He was pissed last year. He was salty. Tennessee has been, I mean, they 8-4, so it's hard to call them disappointing. Um, Underwhelming a little bit though. We haven't seen big splashes from the Tannehill, the Julio Jones to Brown connection, even though one or the other has been out or down or exposed, however that goes. Losing Derrick Henry, which is the glue of the whole thing, really hurt. But it goes to show that anything can happen in this league, and you got to be prepared for whatever happens. Um, their defense is playing pretty good, but I don't know. Right now, they looking like they could end up on some 10-7 type shit. They ain't really playing good enough to me to think that they can win a majority of 5 games left. But we gonna see what happens. Baltimore is some lucky motherfuckers, boy. But I don't. It's hard to count them out. Lamar is so spectacular with what he does. Um, that defense and that John Harbaugh led team just seems to do whatever need to be done at the time they need to do it. So it's hard to count them out. But I said Baltimore could end up 10-7 this year, and I might be right. Um, I gave the Steelers a little more credit, and by standard, Pittsburgh could still go 11-6. That's what I said they would do, 11-6. But if they ended up 10-7 too, then that wouldn't be out of the realm. Pittsburgh fuck around end up 8-9 or 9-8. Cincinnati is the team doing a lot better at this point of the season. I thought Cincinnati was gonna end up being like 8-9. Right now they're sitting at 7-5. Um, it, I just don't think they're gonna collapse and lose 4 out of 5. I mean, that would bode well for my Browns. If everybody in the division kept losing but us, that would bode well for us. It's definitely something I would love to see. I want that to happen. But I don't think that's realistic to think they would lose 4 out of 5. I think it's very realistic that they can win, 3 out of 2. Um, and that'll put them at what, 10-7. Right there in the fight for the division. Before I go home, Kansas City is turning up. Kansas City defense is turning up, and it's not out of the realm to think that somewhere soon they offense gonna turn up too. And when these Chiefs offense turn up, bro, they gonna give everybody everything they can handle. They started off slow at the beginning of the year, and they haven't been able to do the things they used to doing. But you can only keep a stoppage on that shit so long. Um, and once they figure out how to be able to get big plays back going, which is gonna be sometime before the end of before game 17. Hell, it could be this week. Uh, or next week. It's gonna be hell to pay. All right. But they're probably gonna end up still entering second or third this year. I got faith they probably gonna win majority of their next games. They on like a 4-5 game winning streak right now, or 6 game winning streak, some shit like that. Um, I think that's gonna continue. Them in New England gonna have a nice little have it out. Um, Buffalo. What's wrong with Buffalo? Two things wrong with Buffalo. Their linebacker play isn't as great on the edges as it is in the middle. They don't use the running game effectively enough. These two things might be the thing that ruins the season for the Buffalo Bills if they don't figure it out fast. They throw the ball entirely too much. They do. They need to figure something out. Bring in Todd Gurley or something. You need a power running game to go with what Devin Singletary brings to the table. Using Zach Moss, and that's cool, but how is that really working for you? How's it really working for you? You know what I'm saying? So I I ain't never really believed in a linebacker core except for Edmonds. I love Edmonds. I fucks with Tremaine Edmonds. That's my guy. I wanted him on our team. They front fours played a lot better. Their secondary is really good, but they outside linebackers, uh, and I think that's really, like I said, they don't use the running game enough, man. They losing games they should be winning, and they're getting exposed. You know what I'm saying? But this was your problem coming into the season. I said y'all was gonna go 13-4. Clearly, I was wrong. I mean, you could still win out and go 13-4. I don't see it happening, but it's possible. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, he's 7-5. No, you can't. So it's over. Like I said, I was wrong. My bad. The Chargers can play spoiler. The Chargers got a good team, offense and defense. I think the lack of a power running game really hurts them, or they don't use what they have enough. And I think their cornerback game is hurting them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not they secondary and whole, like they secondary and whole pretty decent, but you can't lock down on the edges. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to be difficult. You still in the hunt though. You got I mean, you still in the hunt, but the Chiefs on a winning streak. Denver defense is playing spoiler to somebody. Denver 6-6, they can easily do something. The Raiders still there at 6-6, they can still do something. It's getting really tough in that division. The Chargers need to go on a winning streak to really solidify themselves in the playoffs. But it's getting hot, boy. It's a lot of good teams in the AFC, man. This shit is getting crazy. Miami has even turned it up. And Indy turned it. Listen, Carson Wentz is playing amazing this year. They started off crazy, but Carson Wentz is playing outstanding this year, bro. Carson Wentz got 22 touchdowns and 5 interceptions and almost 3,000 yards passing. Okay, 63% completion. He got a running back that's over 1,000 yards. All right, and Michael Pittman is turning out to be a nice receiver. I mean, having T.Y. Hilton will help a lot. I thought they got my one guy over there, or I guess he ain't making out a training camp. Paris Campbell's been doing all right, but Taylor, Doyle, Pittman has really helped them out as far as weapons on the offensive end. Carson Wentz is playing amazing. You get him back with Frank Wright, and look what happens. So, that's another team. I think they're going to end up taking the division from Tennessee. Tennessee can fuck around and not end up in the playoffs, man. That shit is sad to say that. But Indy looks so damn good, bro. I mean, that defense is really playing amazing. All right, like they turning it up at the right time. They look like they could be on some New York Giants Eli type shit on the turnaround side. So keep an eye out for that. All right. Who else? Miami. Miami's starting to turn it on lately. Tua turn look like he gonna be their quarterback of the future. I still think they need to do something about their running back game. They did everything they could with their receivers. I think they're gonna grow. Will Fuller being in and out is kind of how his careers went. Miles Gaskin is pretty good back there, but they need a back. You know, amazing that y'all had Ajayi a few years ago and he's out the league. Shit crazy. But they need a back. And they'll probably do something. But they might even play playoff spoiler to a couple teams. Who knows? All right. But the NFC. Let's do the NFC before I even go home. But I got such a mouthful for the Browns, bro. I Before I go home. All right. Arizona packing the Mac in the back of the act. You feel me? Kyler Murray was out. Fucking DeAndre Hopkins was out. And they 10-2. They the team to beat in the NFC. There ain't even no mystery about it. It ain't nothing to debate. Um, Green Bay is at 9-3, and Aaron Rodgers look like he poised to make a run. This NFC about to get so interesting. Dallas is at 8-4. Um, and Dak and them haven't really found their offensive groove back again, with the defense playing pretty good and really kind of winning games for them. Once that offense starts to come in, just like Kansas City, man, once that offense come in, it ain't out around the possibility to see a Kansas City and Dallas Super Bowl. It's not out of the possibility. Like, this shit's so wide open. It's crazy. All right. You could see a Rams versus Patriots rematch. It's not out the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Speaking on the Rams, adding Odell, losing Robert Woods, but still having Cooper Kupp who leading the league in receptions, and I think TD receptions, and Vance Jefferson really blooming, Tyler Higbee doing what he do, Sony Michel really starting to get acclimated to the team with Devery Henderson, Junior still doing that defense. You know what it's about. They add Von Miller. You know what I'm saying? To already go with Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. 8-4. Now, after these top five teams, Arizona, Green Bay, Dallas, the Rams, Tampa Bay, the defending champs. Nobody forgets about Tampa Bay, but it's kind of just like, they going to end up somewhere in the picture. Will they end up with the number one seed? Will we see Arizona versus Tampa Bay in the conference? It depends on who their matchups is and who gets the bye. Even though Arizona's probably going to get the bye, it's probably going to end up playing a Dallas or something, most likely. But and yeah, I kind of hinted that if Dallas gets to the playoff, they can win the playoff game. I hinted to that. I did just do that. But the NFC so crazy. So these five teams are getting in: Arizona, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Dallas, the Rams. So now it's about the last two spots. All right. And when it comes to the last two spots, you got Washington, San Francisco, Philly, all at 6-6, 6-7. Then you got Minnesota, Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans, all at 5-7, which virtually with 5 weeks out puts one game between the 6th seed and the 12th, 13th seed. Now, honestly, I think Carolina, Atlanta, and New Orleans are probably out of it. They could play spoiler or helper to some teams, but I think they're virtually out of it. I would love to see Cam Newton make a run, just to shut all the haters the fuck up. Make a run and take them to the playoffs. I would love it. But without Christian McCaffrey, that shit probably unrealistic. Minnesota has been a disappointing team this year. I would think Minnesota would be in the guaranteed part right now. But if Minnesota can win out, they could still end up in the playoffs. I hope Minnesota wins out because I would like to see them in the playoffs. I think that would just add more to all the other storylines of the NFC playoffs with all the moving and shuffling and where guys at and where they used to be and things like that. San Fran, Washington, and Philly. So Washington is got Tyler Heineke, who's probably about to earn himself. He's probably earned himself a long-term backup position in the NFL. But if he takes Washington to the playoffs, bro, he definitely earning him some starter play somewhere. Jalen Hurts probably looks like he might have the best chance of really making the leap. Him, Devonta Smith, Goddard, Miles Sanders, Jalen Rager. Uh, they, not having Graham Hurts on the defensive side. Darius Slay has been playing pretty good, but Philly one of them teams that just might go. San Fran, I don't know what's wrong with San Fran, bro. I don't really know what San Fran is wrong. I, I'm lying. You know what San Fran is wrong with San Fran? They don't got no fucking weapons. That's what the fuck wrong with San Fran. You got Kittle, who's the main. Debo Samuel is a complimentary piece, but he don't got shit to compliment. You don't got no star back. I think Trey Sermon could be the star back, but I don't know what the hell's going on. You don't have no star receivers. Brandon Ayuk could turn up to be, but we don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo is, and whatever you doing with Trey Lance still, I don't. But San Francisco needs weapons. They need a number one receiver and a number one running back. If they get that with the current team they have, they would be a lot better. But they need those things. Can they make a push for the playoffs? Of course, everybody could. Any given week you can win, but I don't know, man. I could see Minnesota finally putting it together these last few weeks of the season and going on a streak and getting one of these spots. But I mean, it's wild, you know. But let's go home. Let's go home. Let's talk about the Browns. 6-6, coming off the bye week, going against the Ravens. Uh, you know, during the season, especially during the heart of the season, the beginning of the season, we break the teams down and we analyze what we think they should and could do and things like that, and try to figure out what they have that'll really help them make a push in the playoffs. And we do a lot of criticizing, but now we just focusing on the strengths and what needs to be done and what should be done and how we can effectively make this push for the playoffs. All right, we going home. Cleveland, last 5 games of the season, sitting at 6-6 in a division where, let's go to divisions. In a division where you play Baltimore, you win against Baltimore, that puts you at 7-5 with a win. That puts you at 7-5. That puts you at 2-2 in the division, and with a game left still against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Your last 5 games are against the Ravens this week, the Raiders next week, the Packers on Christmas, the Steelers, and the Bengals to end the season. So realistically, But before you even get to the last two games, you got to win this game against the Ravens, who are beaten up, are out of sorts, and are really bummed. What must Cleveland do to win this game? What must Cleveland do to win out? Every team that the Browns are playing is fighting for a playoff spot. So technically, the playoffs are starting for the Browns. They've been started for the Browns, but right now, you know what I'm saying? We can look at this in a nice perspective. We starting at 0, and we got to win 8 straight. We can't lose. Every game is basically what, sudden death or elimination. Every game is an elimination game. That's the word. Every game is an elimination game for the Browns. Every game. There's no plays off. There's no days off. Everything counts. That sounds like a lot of pressure, but it shouldn't be, because the Browns are a very talented team with a lot of good coaches on this team, a lot of good players on this team who could become greats or already ascending into greatness. They've done with all the injury bugs and shit, how to move with this player, what to do in these situations. So the Browns have to be explosive. This is the key to winning out the season. The Browns have to be explosive and disciplined. All right. None of these beating yourself penalties. There's not a team remaining on the schedule that I think can outright beat the Browns if they're playing on their A game. Not no team. Not the Packers, not the Raiders, not the Ravens, Bengals, or Steelers. Neither one of these teams are better than the Browns. Neither one. We are complete. But we have to be explosive. We have to allow our playmakers to dominate the game. Don't overthink it. Get these guys in positions to make plays. Do things that we haven't done in the beginning of the season. And
Yo, yo.
yeah, still play focus. But we need Myles Garrett to be free more, right? We getting Jacob Phillips back. Being able to pair him with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and still having Anthony Walker, that should add more to the defensive versatility. You know what I'm saying? The secondary is pretty much healthy. Everybody good. You know what I'm saying? The defensive line is here. DeeTrynt joined. Yo, yo.
Yo, yo. Yeah, we might
Okay.
have to end it and come back. I don't know what's going on.
Say we might have to do that.
I don't know.
We still good right now?
Yeah, we good right now.
My fault for the technical difficulties, man. We cross country doing shit, you feel me? Got it. Appreciate you bearing with us. And everybody tuned in, showing love. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Share, like, subscribe, follow. You see us, you know what I'm saying? DeeTrynt, InDaStreetzSportz. You see how we doing it. But yeah, the Browns, explosive, discipline, doing things they don't that I was saying the injuries. Only injuries we really got right now is our tackles. But we have tackles that could help. We'll be fine. We dealt with this last year. This is not a new scenario for us. Baker. Baker is the key, bro. He the key. Now, the rest of the offense got to make catches and shit, and they got to do their job. You know, every block on every play matters for the rest of the season. You know, every catch and every run matters every game for the rest of the season. There are no plays off. There are no days off. All right. But I need Baker to read defenses, bro. Baker, I need you to read defenses, bro. I need you to be able to understand and accept the fact that what you see at the beginning of the play is not necessarily what you're going to see when the play starts. All right? You have to know this. I need you to learn from those mistakes and really play mistake-free football. I need you to play like Baker plays. I need you to be able to pre-read before the receivers get an opening and put it on him and allow him to run with the ball. Or at least put him in a position where he don't get fucked up or injured. All right? I need you to outthink the other defense first and then apply your talent. This is what I need. I need you to get on your technique and really focus on operating each play like it's supposed to be. Don't worry about the next play. Don't worry about the last play. Just focus on being technically sound and executing that play like you need to play. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you do that, man, if you do that, bro, we're unstoppable. Kareem back, Chubb back, Dearness ready, Felton ready, Peoples ready, Higgins ready. You know what I'm saying? Jarvis ready. We won't have David and Joku, so Hooper ready. Harrison Bryant should be ready. Come on, man. I need you to facilitate. You feel me? I need you to really put this shit where it need to be. That don't mean take over and throw all these unnecessarily trying to be great passes. Just put every player in a position to take over the game. Set them up for success. Give them a chance to make a play after the catch, or at least in a place to make a play without getting injured. This is it. I need to see the almighty Chubb and the almighty Hunt. I need Austin Hooper to come alive. You've been invisible for 2 seasons. Where are you? Has anybody seen Hooper? I don't know where you at, bro. We need you to show up. All right. Defense wise, to be honest, bro, I just need the defense to keep growing. I could honestly say, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, every week the defense has gotten better. Where I think they still lack is still putting the playmakers in a position to work to their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Being able to utilize the other pieces and what they do well to help the playmakers do what they do well. You know what I'm saying? And that just comes from getting more creative with personnel and play packages and the timing of being able to really guess when the offense is about, being able to predict when the offense is about to do something. And that comes with experience and growth. Um, I am out of the you gotta go, or you gotta, none of that shit matters. This is playoff time. This is the type of ball that we wanted to be, us Browns fans wanted our team to be in a position to do. So regardless of what, inanimate details we want to, or relevant or least relevant details we want to talk about, we got a chance to go to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. 6-6, coming off a bye week. Every team that we face for the next 5 weeks are very beatable. We are more talented than them. You know what I'm saying? And if we win out, we're in the playoffs. There's no doubt about this. If the Browns go undefeated the rest of the season, they're in the playoffs. Why? Because you've beaten every important team in front of you to get to the playoffs. The three teams in your division, the top team in the West, one of the top teams in the NFC, and one of the teams fighting for the position that you're fighting for. That'll put you at 11-6. You getting in the playoffs at 11-6 in the NFC right now. I mean in the AFC. I'm sorry, in the AFC. In the AFC, bro, 11-6 puts you in the playoffs. 11-6 gives you the division because you be the split with Pittsburgh, split with Baltimore, and you'll be to own the series against the Bengals, going 2-0. Then you just add Las Vegas and the Packers on the way just to help you make the playoff run. Bruh, if the Patriots slip, bitch, you could end up with a top seed in the AFC anyway. So this is why none of this matters. The Browns are legitimately in a position to go to the Super Bowl at 6-6 right now in the AFC because their schedule has them playing all the teams they need to beat to get to the playoffs. So the playoffs start now. The playoffs started after the bye week was over. This is playoff time. Every win matters. Every play matters. Every day matters. Every practice matters. All right? And we as fans need to get behind them and encourage him to play ball. When y'all at the stadiums, bruh, make it unhearable for the defense and be very quiet for the offense. That's how it works. The defense should be able to manipulate their offense because their offense can't hear. But while we on offense, we quiet and we letting our team operate. All right. This is how it works. This is how you support your team. This is how you help them. This is how you grow. This is how things end up. All right. What do I think the Browns will do? Bro, I think they're gonna go undefeated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people know how much the bye week helps. Especially you come off the bye week where you playing a team that you lost to entering the bye week that you should have beat. That's in your division. Your defense playing nice, y'all done got rest. You done had a couple weeks to actually go over. Like you don't understand how them couple weeks really help you, bro. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how far that should take you, you feel me? So I think the Browns really gonna come out and set the tone against the Ravens. Um, I believe we could see a reoccurrence of what happened a couple years ago when the Browns came into Baltimore and whopped their ass like 40 something to 7 or some shit. I think you could see one of those things happening, like Cleveland really coming out and being dominant this game. I mean, is it a chance that Baltimore can win? Of course, it's a fucking chance. It's always a chance, but I don't think so. I think the Browns are going to come out and really be dominant this game, um, and really show that they're a playoff team and a contender. I think the bye week is definitely good for the coaches because the coaches had a chance to go look back at the games from all season, these last 12 games, where they did these things and did these things, where they seen people criticize them about these things and these things. You know what I'm saying? Where they could sit down without having to focus on another week because you got to understand how hard that is as a coach to try to, improve on what you're doing and still analyze what you're doing wrong. Like you need that little window where you ain't worried about one thing and you can focus on another thing. So them going over their game tapes, seeing where, okay, I could do this with Miles. I can do this with Ward. I can do this with John Johnson, for the scheme I'm running, because we always ever improving. Our coaches are young, they're smart, they're dedicated to the job, and those intangible things you can't teach, man. You know what I'm saying? So ain't none of this. We need to fire somebody. None of that. We got who we got, and we good with that. And we doing better than a lot of teams with what we got. It could be worse. So uh, it's all about this playoff run and this championship run. This championship run. You know what I'm saying? Browns going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in the Super Bowls in existence, and the first time to the championship since '66. I mean, the All Star game, NBA All Star game in Cleveland, February. You feel me? Why not Cleveland in the Super Bowl? I mean, who really stopping us? You feel me? Like, who really fucking with that? So, you know, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, and the Street Sports. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all tuning in, rocking with us today. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get up with y'all later. Happy holidays, you know what I'm saying? Merry Christmas and Merry New Year and all that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you enjoy this time with your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough year for all of us, man. All of us. You know what I'm saying? Between government shit going on, your own personal shit going on, it's been a tough year, man. But try to be grateful and thankful for what you do have and the opportunities you do have in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Try to look at the brighter side of things and realize the negative things only just build up endurance and resilience. You know what I'm saying? So it's one love, DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports. Now we gonna holler at y'all later.